Welcome, and thanks for joining us for episode 3 of Code Girls on Air Season 2, a podcast that explores all things technology, female leadership, careers, education, and topics within the nonprofit sector. On this episode of Code Girls on Air, we interviewed Hailey and Åsa about their experience about being part of Code Girls United, our program that teaches girls coding and business skills. Join us to hear more about their story.
All right, so welcome to Code Girls on Air. Go ahead and just introduce yourselves with your names and your ages and how long you've been part of Code Girls.
Hi, I'm Hailey and I'm 12 years old and I've been a part of the program for like 3 years.
My name's Åsa, I'm 12 years old and this will be my 3rd year that I'm going into.
Very cool. So what made you guys want to join Code Girls United in the first place?
So I had heard about it when I went to CARE, and it sounded like a really fun opportunity, and like we had done code.org at school, and so it just sounded fun.
For sure.
It was like 2 weeks late, but she told me about it, and so I was like, what's the worst that could happen? So I joined.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super, super cool. So do you remember your guys' very first coding project, and what was it like?
Oh, are you talking about like the one we did on our own time, or like for the year where we part of the year where we learned apps?
Ooh, I'd love to hear about both.
Well, yeah. So I guess technically, I think my first app was maybe the Coding Groovy Unicorns. But I also remember my first year we did Paint Pot. And it was really fun because I love how Paint Pot has so many elements that you get to code. Do you remember your first one?
Well, I can't remember. Mine was either Tickle the Puppy or Mole Mash because I started 2 weeks late, so I can't remember which one I did first. But I think I did both of them in the same day.
Yeah.
But I don't really remember them that much. I don't remember stuff.
Yeah. Our first app was Forever Homes.
It was like finding homes for homeless animals that were like in shelters.
Very cool.
Yeah. We had 4 people on our team. Yeah.
How many screens do we have?
I think we had 5 or 6.
Yeah, but it was kind of complex because Kathy and Darian, when they were helping us, they said that we were like doing some stuff that like no team has really ever done before.
And so we had a screen that was called Ask Axolotl, and it was like AI. So that was kind of, I think, like where we first started using AI.
Yeah, like one of the coolest parts too.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So what was your most recent app?
Schedule, probably.
Yeah, probably. Schedule.
It was the app that we did for the school year.
Yeah, very cool.
It was all about like keeping people organized for school.
For sure, that's super helpful. I did hear that you guys won Congressional App Challenge. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? What place you got and how that experience was?
Well, so when we did Forever Homes, we won 2nd place with that. And so like pretty much like the whole entire drive like to the competition this year, it was like my mom's like, don't expect to get first again. That was like super cool that you got that your first year and like just stuff like that. And then we get there and we won 1st place.
Yeah, and it was just kind of inspiring when all the judges like give you feedback on your app, and then like you get to like celebrate as a team, and like everyone knows they worked hard, and it's fun experience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is super, super cool. So was coding exactly what you expected, or is it totally different?
It's not like totally different, but I mean, I'm not really sure what I expected.
Yeah, I think like from the summer camp, like I didn't really know like what to expect, but it turned out really fun.
Yeah.
For sure. So what's something that you guys learned in Code Girls United that you didn't know before?
Kind of like how to present and like,
Yeah, like be more like confident in public speaking and
yeah.
stuff.
Like, be confident, like still be yourself, but like learn how to do things like in a way that, I don't know.
And I think it just also taught like me a lot about like technology, and like now we use it so much that it's been really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. That's super cool. Code Girls does a really good job with that public speaking because you really get to learn how to make a good presentation, which is such a valuable skill to learn. So what is the most exciting part for you in the Code Girls process? Is it doing the business project part or making the actual apps and coding?
I mean, to us, like we've always been splitting the role of coder, so I think that's always been my favorite part, like
Yeah,
doing
it's
the
the coding.
app and the coding.
And like when the blocks click, it's just such a satisfying sound.
And then when you actually get to test your app, that's fun because you get to see like how the coding actually worked if maybe you didn't understand it.
Yeah, for sure. So what has been the hardest part about the coding?
I think sometimes it's
working as a team.
yeah, and I also think like sometimes when you have different ideas and then like you don't know exactly what to do with your app, that's sometimes hard. But with like the coding part, it was hard this year because so we had a calendar screen, and so we had to try like 5 different calendars or 3 or 4 or whatever. And
Somewhere around there.
yeah, it was like hard because the code hadn't been updated, and what we wanted it to do, it just kind of showed up as a calendar.
Yeah.
I see.
And so it was like, the one that we did finally find, it was like 3 hours.
Yeah, it took Åsa 3 hours to code.
Oh, that's crazy. So what are you guys most proud of in your coding process? Is it that calendar?
Yes.
And I think also just like being with your team, and like this year we haven't ever met the other girl on our team, or like we hadn't ever met her, but then like we became actually really good friends.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool.
And like, there was 2 teams at Will James, and like the teams, like both of us became really good friends. Like at the end, for like around Easter time, instead of a secret Santa, we did like a secret Easter bunny.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
So how has been working on a team? So you guys have done a few apps together with a few various different teams. How has that process really helped you guys learn more about teamwork?
I think it kind of like teaches you that you can't like always be, the like person who like does everything, so you have to like rely on your team kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys have a favorite memory with your team?
Yeah, so this year when I was like kind of stressed out that we weren't going to finish our app. So I was like telling Åsa, you need to help me. And then
she was asking a bunch of questions, and I was answering her questions, and then she got mad at me. And so I was on the table, and I was just rolling around on the table, and she would ask a question, and then I would tell her an answer. But then she just kept on getting mad at me.
I said like, Åsa, you need to be helping. And she's like, I am helping.
Did that make you guys better friends because working through those challenges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys do when something doesn't work out the way you want it to?
Well, like an example is we didn't know if we were going to include an ask a teacher screen in our schedule because we didn't know if we had a time. So, like, one way that we thought we were going to work around it is maybe just focus on everything else, and then if we had time, do the Ask a Teacher screen.
For sure, yeah. So say you're making an app and something doesn't go according to plan, maybe something takes longer than what you expected it to. How's Code Girls giving you kind of the tools to help you manage those situations?
With the calendar, it was like it took way longer than we expected, and like it took longer than we expected just to find a calendar that we could code. And so yeah.
And I think, like, our instructors have been really helpful, like Kathy and Darian. They, like, helped us find the calendars that we could use, and, like, that's just been really helpful.
A bunch of bugs in our coding.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Kathy and Darian are fantastic mentors, and I'm so glad that you guys have them as your teachers there in Billings. So, has Code Girls made you want to do more with tech, business, or STEM in the future?
Yeah, definitely. So, like, I've always kind of wanted to be an engineer, but, like, since Code Girls, I decided I wanted to be a software engineer, or, like, some sort of coding engineer or whatever.
Yeah, when I grow up, I think I want to do something with, like, quantum computing or something like that.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I love that. I think, Code Girls has definitely helped you guys, and you guys are still so young. You guys have an entire future that you guys have in front of you. So, what grades are you guys going into?
7th.
Awesome. Hey, that's awesome. I love that. You guys are so equipped for the future. So, if you could build an app for anything, what would you want to build?
Oh, like Rachel's Challenge.
Oh, yeah.
So we had Rachel's Challenge. They came and talked to us about, like, the school shooting and how, like, Rachel wanted to, like, help everybody. And so we became a part of 4 Club, which was, like, helping
Friends of Rachel.
Yeah. And then we kind of wanted to make an app for Friends of Rachel. Like,
well, so how it actually happened is we were waiting for Code Girls to start because there was, like, we had to wait like an hour or something. So we just kind of wandered into the library and started talking to her. And then she asked why we were still here after school, and we talked about Code Girls. And then we went and showed her our apps, and she was like, that's really cool. It's just, yeah.
And I was like, what if, like, we made an app for Rachel's Challenge so, like, everyone got to, like, learn about it and not just, like, the schools they visited.
That's super awesome. I love that you guys did that. That's incredible. So, would you rather design an app, build a robot, or run your own business? And why?
I feel like just because I've never really done the other two, probably build an app. But I think if I had experience in all fields, it might kind of change that.
I think what I would want to do is I would want to run a business, but my business had an app that I got to design.
That's for sure. So many apps are also their own businesses. Like, even obviously the super big ones, like, I don't know, the first one that popped into my head was like Instagram, which is an app, but also a massive business. But for any app that you see on the App Store, oftentimes, there's a business behind that, whether that be a business that someone is working at 24/7, or if it's just someone's hobby and they're doing it for fun. So all of those things are super, super attainable. So, what advice would you give to a girl who's thinking about joining Code Girls United?
I would say that it's really a life changer, because I know that even girls who, like, think they're not into coding, there's always something for them.
Yeah, like last year there was somebody, when we did Forever Homes, somebody didn't want to do the coding, but they really like designing and, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or, like, even if you like writing or something, or, like, even if you're just, like, being social, you get to, like, talk to everybody, and that's really fun. And also, it, like, just is, like, really fun building the apps and then taking them to competition.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was the one who didn't love doing the coding. So I like doing the writing part, like the business part, and I like designing. But even, again, I've been part of Code Girls for a very long time. I don't know how many years. But it definitely, you're so right. It has something for everyone, and anyone can learn great skills, including just public speaking, which is super, super important as you get older. So, you guys have any last things to share before we close the podcast out?
I don't think so.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Hailey and Åsa, for being on Code Girls On Air today. Your insight is super, super beneficial, and I'm so glad that you shared your experience in Code Girls to all of our listeners. So, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much for listening to episode 3 of season 2 of Code Girls On Air. Next week, we'll be talking to Elaine Westbrook, an assistant professor at Montana State University Billings. Join us on Friday, October 10th to hear more about her story. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your week.